Welcome to Rust Belt Builds. I'm in my turtleneck. It's not a turtleneck. But we are here getting ourselves a 5.5 gallon fuel tank jug. Because this is a fucking tank as far as I'm concerned. We're gonna get the white one. We are. So we're walking around Rural King. We have nothing, no means or anything here because we build race cars, not sheds and houses and stuff. But they do have one thing we need, and that is a big 5.5 jug that's about to go and have something spicy put in it. So come on, let's go. It's got this nice little tube on it so that we can just shove it in the back of the car and get maximum flow. So 11 gallons. Track is Sunday. It got moved. It was Saturday, but the rain. So we're gonna go up to a special place and get a special something to throw in this thing. So follow us there.
All right, everybody. We're here on Notorious Pump 9. $9.99 a gallon. We got two 5.5 gallon jugs here. We just paid $100 for fuel. But it is what it is. We need it to go fast. So we're about to pour a bunch of overpriced fuel here. All for the better good of the Camaro, the times that we want, and you know, if we're gonna start racing, you may as well start paying for it. So here we go. It's heartbreaking.
Wow. Look at that.
Purple.
Look at that. Yeah, it looks sweet in the can. So for those who are not familiar with this spot in Ohio, National Trails is off Route 40, which is down there, way down there. And this is the notorious spot to get race fuel.
On the dot, 5 gallons in this jug. Then we'll do 5 gallons in this jug. That's like grape soda right there.
Yeah, it is. It don't taste like it, I bet.
Definitely don't smell like it. Let's get a good whiff here.
Bro's gonna wreck
That's
us
like
on the way back home.
straight up rubbing alcohol, I think. Bro, give me a cigarette real quick.
Yeah, right.
That number goes up so fast.
Yeah, that pump doesn't play, man.
Get every last drop.
So there we go. We got 10 gallons. Gonna put the car on one of these jugs tomorrow. Hopefully the rain, stays away, stays in the morning. We'll test the car on race fuel and get the timing dialed in because we might have to advance it because it's gonna want some more. So stick around and see where this gas takes us, fellas. Today I'm going to show you guys how to start a 74 Camaro with a carburetor. Not many folks our age know how to start a carbureted vehicle, especially in the cold. So we're going to give you a nice representation. So you want to start by putting your key in the ignition. Oh, that's such a crispy sound. We don't need to let the fuel pump prime with the key because we're not gay. So you just want to take your foot on the gas and just 4 good pumps and then one last big one. Oh my God.
Fire.
Everybody, so our buddy Scott that you seen in the previous video that was just posted, he's the guy who was helping us with the timing and gave us a lot of good pointers, all that good stuff. So he gave us actually a completely locked out distributor. So what that means is there's no springs on it, which if you don't know in HEI, the springs that come in here, they flex out, and that's what gives it a mechanical advance. It usually goes like, I think 2 to 4 degrees, maybe just 2. I'm not exactly sure. But so the reason why we're locking it out completely, right, is because this car, we do a little street driving, but the only time we really have it on the street is if we're testing it or we're, hooning around, whatever we got to do. So we hooked up the vacuum advance to kind of, I don't know, lean it out because it was really rich, and it'll help lean out the fuel condition if it does run a little rich on like low cruising speeds. So after further research, we're just going to ditch the vacuum advance and we're going to go completely locked out. So the difference between that is as vacuum builds up, it increases timing to a certain extent until it falls wide open throttle, which creates no vacuum. So pretty much from idle to your mid is where you're going to produce vacuum. And we are just going to completely lock it out, put it on 36, and with vacuum advance blocked off, the mechanical advance in that distributor will still advance to some degrees. We don't want that. We want to go completely locked out. We want to put this thing on 36 degrees and leave it there. So with that being said, he just has them welded so they don't flex out and there's no springs. So what we're going to do here, we already got the engine at top dead center. So for those of you who don't know, and for those of you who do know, ow, I just hit my head on that again, second time today. Whenever you're doing anything small block Chevy with the timing and you pull the distributor, it's always a great idea to get the engine at top dead because you have to drop the distributor pointing at number 1 on top dead center compression stroke. So we have here a marker on the timing cover and a mark on the balancer itself. So we're going to go ahead and turn this to 0. We already tested it. We spun the engine around with the spark plug, number 1 out. I put my finger over it. He got it on compression stroke. And then in our case, the engine is very easily turnable by hand. Not like super easy, but easier than some engines. So I'm just going to bump it to 0 with my hands. And then we'll take this distributor out that is not locked out. And we'll put the new one in. We'll swap all the guts. The pickup has to be swapped onto that, and then just throw the cap on, and then we're good to go. Here's the guts of a HEI. As you can see, here's the weights and the springs. That's what swivels out, and that's the mechanical advance in the distributor. As you can see here on our locked out one, it's welded in, so these cannot move. They have no springs. It's just straight shot. And then we have our pickup module, and then the rest, and then some grounds and all that good stuff, and we're just going to swap them over. So let's get to doing it now. So we got the pickup from the old distributor that was in the car onto the new locked out one. Got the strap on there, nice and locked down. Everything's down pretty smooth. He's making the other one, and we will get this bad boy in here. We'll line it up, line up the hole. There's our little spacer that we're using, pretty cool. And then we'll get this thing together, throw it in the car, and we'll see how she wants to run. So, end product. We had to do a little bit of MacGyvering, but part of the sport. My grandpa would probably be proud of this one, but I didn't use no JB Weld, so probably not. So, we had a little bit of an issue with our screws. They're a little bit taller than we expected. So, instead of finding different screws, because it's like 11, 30, 12, I just, I clearanced it, dude, so it's going to work. New distributor's back in. Everything's plugged off. That has vacuum port on it. We got the wires a little bit more squared away. We're going to tie them up with some zip ties, make our own little looms. Well, I'd say that's it. Fingers crossed. Everything was put top dead center. It went really smooth. Hopefully our little MacGyver is going to work. So we're going to fire this thing up, and we're going to see what we got here. Fingers crossed. Should be good to go. Got some professionals working on this beast. Sure does. Oh my gosh.
What? Whoa.
Timing might be a little jacked. So we're gonna go. We're not gonna do no street testing. We're just gonna go drive the car at least around the block to see how it acts in case we wasted our time here, so we can just swap everything back to normal. But I'd say we're gonna do a test and give you guys an update just to see how this thing runs now. All right, guys, total fail. Unfortunately, the car runs. And, nothing's broke, nothing too crazy, but it's just down on power, and it's whacked. We have it advanced. It doesn't want to idle properly. It doesn't want to do anything past that. So I don't know. I don't think we're a tooth off because it was pointing at number 1, all that good stuff. So it might be something in that distributor. I don't know. So we're going to pull this completely back. We're going to swap back to our old setup, and we're just going to run that setup capped off. It'll have the mechanical advance, but we know it runs there. We know it makes its power because this thing is a complete dog right now, and we're not happy about it. So I don't know if it's something that we did, something that we don't know that we're supposed to do with it locked out, but we're not going to go deeper into uncharted territory. We're just going to go back to what works and the way it, ran when we parked it in here. So that's just done deal. We're not going to do any more testing with this setup because we don't want to break anything, and it just runs like a complete dog. There's no sense. So bear with us here. We're going to swap this thing, get it back up in order, and we'll give you a real update next time. Sorry for the letdown. So everything's back to where we had it originally, besides the vacuum advance being hooked up. We capped that off. We're not going to run that. We're just going to put the timing light on it tomorrow and get it in a time, get this thing completely dialed in before the track, because we want to get a good base before we go out and run. We don't want to be putting no boof tune on it. We want this thing ready to go, launch, and then we'll go from there. Like I said in the last video on the outro, we are hoping for 1250 right out of the box. It ran a 1290 at 105. We did all the upgrades previously listed. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to make you go back to the video and watch it because thank you. Anyway, so all the mods, I want this thing 1250. I'm not taking no more, no less. The screwdriver will be out. The 9/16, the timing light, and the jet kit will be out. This thing is going to break into the 11s. We hope. And we're going to push every little ounce out of this car. We're going to have some old head knowledge there, some track knowledge, and then us as you guys know it. Us hooligans. So we're going to fire the car up. Hopefully it just fires right up and chops away, and it's back to normal. See you in the next clip. Car's wrapped up. We have everything back to where it was originally. Only thing we changed was we blocked the vacuum advance off, like I said. Fired the car up. Runs great. Runs right back to where we had it. If you follow us over here, you can see that we have taken the back seat out. So I'd say probably 30 pounds maybe altogether. We have the seat out just because nobody ever sits back there in race car. So another cool thing to add, Dax here has a key that goes into the trunk but doesn't unlock it. So that's been kind of a battling thing that we never even tinkered into with getting the trunk open. So we took a screwdriver, messed with it. We couldn't get the latch to go over because we had to fit our hands through that little hole in there. So I was like, man, we need to find something pointier and a little bit longer. So I found these hedge trimmers, and I opened them up, and I was able to get in there while he lifted it up on the back of the trunk, and I knocked it over, and the trunk popped up. It was pretty cool. We had never had that open before. And in the back, we've found this box with an oil pan in it from Transdept. It's a 350 small block oil pan, Chevy orange. This is kind of cool to throw in. It's kind of random, but oh well. So that leads us off to the end of the video. Like I said, small little video of us tuning the car, getting it ready. There's going to be probably one more of these because we're going to add some more clips tomorrow if the weather permits, hopefully, of us ripping it on the timing set with no vacuum advance and pretty much locked out with the mechanical advance. That brings it in a little bit. So thank you for watching this. Like I said, every video, we appreciate all the feedback, the comments. Ever since we've been mentioning the comments, you guys have been speaking to us in the comments a lot more, which we like that. So thank you for watching. See you on the next one.